Hey kids, what are we in today? Cast in place foundation. That's right, poured concrete. Concrete that's poured in between two forms. We've got the little ties sticking out. That's not a tie, it's a nail. Somebody put something on the wall here. Metal ties that are put into the wall hold the forms together so that the concrete can be poured into. And we can see this diagonal crack here. There's a big tree in the backyard that's kind of pushed on the rear wall. So this is why we have the cracking that's been done here. This is just paint. This looks a lot worse than it actually is. The metal frame around it rusts a little bit, and so it's no big deal. But it would be cleaned properly, injected with closed-cell urethane, followed by black carbon fiber that would be put over the top of it, which would give it strength. We'll go ahead and work our way around. This being as you face the house, look to the left side of the house, and we have your typical shrinkage crack that's off of this. There's another little diagonal over there, so there's been a little push, but the main beam hasn't been punched through or anything. So again, minor. The walls, there's another crack that's behind here. When these walls get painted like this, sometimes these things get hidden, but trained eye, you kind of know where they're at. Again, very minor. Windows are going to be replaced. As a matter of fact, one of these two windows are going to have an egress put in it, which makes a lot of sense. I mean, you've got this big space, same footprint as the house. Make it count for the bedroom. Make these things worth it, so this way you can get out and you're safe. So this crack will somewhat be dissipated when this all gets cut out and taken away, but there'll be a drain brought in so that we can put one of the sumps probably in this corner. Probably if there's a need for a second. If we find that it's virtually pretty dry most of the time on this house, below the floor, the static water, then we'll put one in. If it needs two, it's two. But when Waterproof Solutions does something, warranty's there either way. So there's that. As we make our way to the front, you hear about the horizontal crack, and it's like, oh, the horizontal, yeah, they are the worst, but this one is so minute. This is where you're almost grateful that the wall was painted, because it shows it. Now, how we're able to do that is, let's fix the why, right? So the why is, the landscaping's not great, but the gutters completely have gave it up. And there's nothing on the spigot outside, which we'll illustrate later. So water being heavy, 500 gallons of water is over 4,000 pounds, 4170 plus. So no wonder the wall broke, but no giant harm. So once we strengthen that wall up with carbon's stronger than the other concrete. So when you take the why away, you're back to better than when it was first designed. This crack has there's a couple verticals, and then it runs in behind the cedar over here. But other than that, we're just going to be putting a system into the house that it didn't have. I grew up in St. Anne. We didn't have air conditioning. We didn't have an air conditioning problem. We didn't have air conditioning. So when a house like this doesn't have a system, you're just adding one to it. Certainly deserves it, and we know better now. So engineering will be done, proper permits will be pulled, and we're going to put this house back together.